So why is it that you have this one exciting idea that can change your life, but you keep pushing it off? Then when it comes time to doing things you don't really care about, you're able to complete them without any issues. So the reason this happens is because you're scared. You really care about this one idea, so it's scary not knowing what's gonna happen when you finally finish it. And I don't blame you. This fear of the unknown is hardwired into our human instincts. I mean, this is what kept us alive for decades. We only took the risk when it was worth it. However, even though our physical risk is lower than ever, our mental risks have increased over time. With the world being more connected than ever before, the fear of failing and doing the wrong thing in front of others has paralyzed many people from taking action on their ideas. And that's exactly what happened to me. It took me over 10 years to finally do what I've always wanted, to make art, especially YouTube videos. Because my love for YouTube began in the early 2010s when I was heavily invested into the fitness community. From Christian Guzman to Legends of Aesthetics to Physiques of Greatness, these were the people who not only inspired me to work out, but also to pursue my creative passions. So I tried it out and started recording here and there at the gym, but I was always uncomfortable setting up my phone in the gym, so I eventually stopped. Again, I let my fears paralyze me, but that urge to create videos never disappeared. So every time I watched one of their videos, I would have a fight within myself. From one perspective, I would tell myself the reason you still have that urge is because that's what you're meant to do. To create, to express yourself. And from the other perspective, I was telling myself, don't do it. People are gonna laugh at you. You're not ready. Why should people even listen to you? And that's the perspective that won after every video I watched. And I ended up not creating anything for years. Which brings us to where I am now. I mean, I wouldn't say the fear is gone. I don't think we can ever completely get rid of it. But I am able to accept that fear and still create. And even though it's not the YouTube path I originally planned, I was able to find my own path to express myself. And the secret behind my progress from not being able to create for years because I was scared, to finally being able to create consistently, was that I simply jumped in. And I know that's easier said than done. So here are 2 tips that can help you manage your fears before going for it. While I did feel the judgment from others, the truth is I was the one holding myself back. My lack of confidence made me downplay who I am. In my head, I would tell myself, you're not creative, you don't even have a camera, you don't know how to edit, you're not even in shape like these fitness YouTubers. Maybe you should spend some years building up your physique and saving money to buy a camera because you're simply not ready. But the reality is, there will never be a right moment to jump in. You can research all you want. You can buy all the equipment you think you need. But you never really know how your creative journey is going to play out unless you start. Because what I have learned after creating hundreds of projects over the past couple of years is that you don't need to know everything. The creative process will give you the answers once you start moving. It's called momentum. Once an object is in motion, it stays in motion. Even when creating this video, I had one topic, and through the process of creating, it turned into something completely different. Because you can never truly control the outcome. So you need to accept that you're gonna fail. You're gonna face obstacles. You're gonna make mistakes that make you scrap whole projects. But you'll also make mistakes that lead you to making something better than you ever imagined. The other fear that stopped me from creating was perfectionism. Because if I was gonna release videos, I needed them to be perfect. I wanted people to take me seriously. I didn't want them to laugh at what I created. So I got caught up in the little things that didn't matter. I was just procrastinating because I was scared to release these videos. And I never did. Because I think a big problem that stops artists from releasing anything is that we attach ourselves to our work. I mean, that's what made it scary for me. I felt if this video failed, I was a failure. But I mean, how dumb does that sound when you think about it? And I know I've said countless of times to be vulnerable and put yourself into your art. But the truth is, you are not your work. You are you. Your work is only a small aspect of your identity. Whether your work fails or succeeds is not going to change who you are. So learn to detach yourself from your work, and I promise you'll make better art from that detachment. Now that we have learned how to manage some of our fears, the question is, where do we start? And I'm going to assume you've already created at least one thing in your life, even if you've never released it. So you know the creative process isn't a straight line. You don't have an idea, then follow the line and create it. That's not how it works. The creative process is full of obstacles, zigzags, lines, and loops. There's no one path to creating anything. Every project has its own unique process. So the truth is, the best place to start is anywhere. Because once you start, you'll gain momentum. Your creative juices will start flowing. You'll start connecting the dots. And as I mentioned before, you'll make mistakes. You'll use some and you'll lose some. That's just a part of the process. You just need to be in tune with how you feel. Follow your instincts and even follow your fears. Because the majority of the time, they point you to where you need to go. Whether that's vlogging in public, performing on stage, or being more vulnerable in your art. Fear can be a useful tool when you don't let it control you. When you accept it, understand it, and work through it. Facing your fears will lead to growth. So maybe starting with the task that scares you the most might be the best option.